Happy Thursday. Welcome to the NBA Pick Show on the LineStar YouTube channel. Alongside Tyler Wiemann, I'm Shannon Sommerville. Let's get it rolling on this Thursday. Tyler, before we get to the picks, I just got to do a victory lap for my Knicks last night because another remarkable comeback victory. I am still in shock. I cannot believe that happened. 20 points down in the third. They come back yet again. Just wild. What's your reaction to last night's performance by the Knicks or the Celtics, for that matter? Their collapse.
Absolutely insane. I mean, doing that once is one thing. Doing it twice, like, you got to feel pretty bad about yourself if you're the Celtics right now.
Well, they let us down certainly in our picks yesterday. Sorry for all who tailed on that. The only one who came through for us was Josh Hart in that Knicks pick. But for today, looking for a little redemption as the Golden State Warriors are going to be without one of their best players. Of course, Steph Curry is out in this one against the Minnesota Timberwolves. So we're looking at a couple different angles here. As always, we are putting our picks together on some entries on Underdog. If you don't already have Underdog, go check it out, download it, use the promo code LineStar. All you new users will get a nice deposit match plus 1 free month of the LineStar app. So take advantage of that deal. Again, use that promo code LineStar. Also, like this video, subscribe to the channel, and comment below because that also enters you into our daily prop bets contest. What we're doing is we're putting 2 picks on an entry on Underdog. And what we're saying is if we go 2 for 2 on those picks, one randomly selected commenter will win $20. So you got to be in it to win it. Again, to enter that in, just like this video, subscribe to the channel, and comment below, and you are in it to win it. Unfortunately, not able to give out a winner yesterday, so let's try our luck today here. Again, kind of a weird game to handicap, Tyler, because we've got Steph Curry out of the mix, but there could be some edge to be had with that news. Any thoughts on him being out in this one?
Man, it's a bummer to see,
Yeah.
when you're in the playoffs and you lose a star. So, but I'm going to be really interested to see if the Warriors can follow up that performance they did last time.
That's for sure. All right, so we'll start with our extender picks, and then we'll move on to our ladder picks. We've been playing in that ladder contest, and just 2 days ago, crushed it with the ladder. So let's hope we can run it back there today. All right, let's start off with our extender picks. We're going to go with Jimmy Butler over 31.5 points and assists. Now, this is a pretty high number here for Butler. He averaged just 22.9 during the regular season of that points assist combo and just around 24 points and assists per game in the playoffs. The key here, though, is Steph Curry's absence, and he did put up 28 points and assists last game that Steph left the game early. He shot just 35%, so that's like 20 below average for him, 7 for 20 from the floor. So Steph Curry is out. Butler gets a 13% usage boost, 19% increase in points per 100, and 17% increase in assists. So that kind of explains why the number is 31.5 right now. And we know that Jimmy Butler, playoff Jimmy, he's called that for a reason, and might as well go with him for this position today. What do you think?
Yeah, playoff Jimmy, Himmy, whatever you want to call him. He knows when it's playoff time and he really comes to play. He's also hyper aware of the roles on a basketball team. You see him talking in these press conference as on the Warriors team, and he's like, "Oh, I'm Robin. Steph is, Batman. Steph is Batman." And now he has to be Batman.
Yeah.
He knows it's it's going to go through him, and with that, he's going to try and put the team on his back. And he really does need to facilitate, and he needs the Buddy Hields, whoever to open or knock down those open shots. And I think Jimmy Butler gets there tonight.
Yeah, even though that number is super high, like you said, playoff Jimmy, he's going to rise to the occasion in the playoffs. On the flip side of that, for the Minnesota Timberwolves, Anthony Edwards also needs to rise to the occasion here. So we're going higher than 40.5 points, rebounds, assists. Tyler, what gives you, I guess, confidence that Ant is going to come through tonight for the Timberwolves?
Well, he shot 9 of 22 last time out. Was like 0 for 10, through like the first half. All of his points were in the second half, and he still ended up with 37 PRA in game 1. This is an absolute must-win game for Minnesota. If, they go down 0-2 without Curry, they're in a real bad situation. And with Ant having the last two games where he didn't shoot particularly well, I think he's going to be just relentlessly attacking the basket, trying to get his points. And then maybe that shot starts falling, later in the game as he gets a little more confidence and he just sees the ball keep going in the bucket when he's making layups. He's averaged 41.4 over the last 5. So I don't mind hitting this number and just expecting him to try and put the team on his back.
All right, so rolling with the stars for our extender entry tonight. Remember that extender contest. Each game throughout the playoffs, you're going to get an additional boost. So take advantage of that deal so you can get a little extra bang for your buck when those entries hopefully cash for today. All right, next up, we've got our ladder contest, which is a pretty fun one that we cashed in on 2 days ago. And Tyler, I feel like the trick with this one is to find a player who the lines and the rungs of the ladder are something, that this guy has. Like, it's kind of like a boom or bust type player. Is there a prototype that we're looking for here with these ladder picks?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely boom or bust. You're trying to look for a little bit of a low line and a guy that has a ceiling.
All right, so let's do just that. And we're going to start off in our ladder pick with Jonathan Kuminga, whose points line starts at 5, then increases to 8 on the second rung, and the money rung there, 15 points. What do you think about Kuminga's chances for us tonight in the ladder?
Well, look, this is a little bit of a galaxy brain. It's a little out there. We're trying to forecast who's going to get additional minutes without Curry. I think Jonathan Kuminga is one that could pick up big time minutes in this spot, and they're going to need some boost offensively. And he's one that can do it and, beat a team in several areas of the floor. He played 13 minutes last game, all of which were after Curry got hurt. The upside here is he starts. I think the most likely scenario is he's playing 18 to 22 minutes, something like that. But look at these numbers. He's averaging 15 points per game in 24 minutes on the season. Average 14.9 in 23 minutes a game as a reserve. 16.8 per game as a starter playing 28 minutes. Even when he's playing only 10 to 19 minutes, he averaged 10 a game. So with that, that's that 3x ring. And I think there is absolutely that upside to the 25x there if he gets a little extra run. If he gets hot, Steve Kerr is going to keep him out there.
And another player who's been hot for the Warriors is Buddy Hield, and he'll be counted upon tonight for sure. So not a bad play here for his ladder. It starts at 12, moves up to 16, and then 24 points. What is your assessment of his prospects for hitting that 24 points mark, given the fact that he gets also a 10% increase in usage with Curry out in this one?
Yeah, he has 33 and 24 points the last 2 games. There's no Curry. This is the obvious one, to go to. It's a shooter. There's a big ceiling. If he gets it rolling, they're going to need him to play, going to need him to be out there. And, I'm fine just going back to Buddy Hield in this spot.
And lastly, let's go to the Minnesota Timberwolves and a guy whose shot has definitely not been falling, but we're trying to take some shots here with this ladder. So Donte DiVincenzo is a shooter that can get scorching hot from 3. He hasn't been hot at all in the playoffs, but you got to think that luck's going to change at some point. He's just 7 for 38 from 3 in the playoffs. That's 18%. And consider that throughout the course of the regular season, he shoots like 39.7 from 3. You got to think at some point that shot starts falling. And if it does tonight, he would be a great player to have in your ladder. What are your thoughts, Tyler?
Yeah, I mean, look, the last 4 games they've played, he's been, 29 plus minutes. He had 1 game of 29, but the other 3 were all 31 plus. So I think, they're trying to get him 30 plus minutes in this spot. And over those last 4 games, the shot volume's there. He is shooting between 11 to 13 times similar to what he was in the regular season. And in the regular season, when he played 30 plus minutes, he averaged 18 points a game, took around 13, 14 shots a game. I like the spot. There's absolutely the ceiling. He just needs to see that ball go into the bucket a little bit. And then I think the wheels are up.
And hey, maybe he's going to be playing a little more inspired after seeing his former Villanova teammates with the Knicks now, knocking down some shots, maybe channeling a little of that of his old teammate Jalen Brunson, and maybe trying to show the Knicks what they missed out on. But either way, maybe a little extra motivation. Don't mind having him, though. He's a sharpshooter that can get it done from three when he's hot, which he hasn't been, but we're trying to take some shots here to the players that can get to that third rung of the ladder here. He certainly can do just that. So for our ladder, we are rolling with Kuminga, Hield, and DiVincenzo. Let us know what picks you're rolling with tonight in NBA playoffs action. Drop them below. Remember, a comment enters you into our prop bets contest. So our picks for that main entry where we're using that extender bonus on Underdog is going to be that Butler points and assists plus Anthony Edwards points, rebounds, assists, taking the higher on both of those. So let us know what you think of our picks, or if you've got any other locks for tonight. Again, drop them below. Good luck in all of your picks for NBA action on this Thursday. Good luck. We'll see you tomorrow.